What up, Dokkanners? Welcome back to Junrami for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Today's video is going to be a brief overview of the new support memory mechanic that is coming to Global Dokkan. It is already on JP, it is in the data files, it is slowly being implemented, and the most recent data download has given us the currency needed to trigger these support memories. So I'm going to go over what these guys do, how they work, and a little bit more about the support memories themselves. So let's start by just taking a look at this screen right here. You've got your team build up top, you've got the support items on the left. The support memory on the right basically functions as an honorary 5th support item. So it's basically going to be giving you one more dimension to your team building, your strategy, when going into these various events. And in order to do so, you need to use these items here as basically your fuel, your currency. So I'm going to jump over to the Dokkan Wiki. So how support items work. They're basically, or support memories, they're basically items that can be used for quests and events. You can bring it to the event the same way as a support item to exert various effects. So as you can see right here, you got your 4 items, you got your oolong. Cool. Now, the first hurdle is that in order to unlock a single support memory, in order to use one in a battle, you have to accumulate 100 or however many is required to unlock that unit. So I'm guessing that depending on how good or how bad the support memory is, like if it's something really, really good that applies to like any condition at all, that's probably going to be generally valued as more, which means in order to unlock it, you'll probably have to accumulate more than 100 copies, maybe 200, 300, I don't know. But that's basically the first hurdle that you have to get through. So as the example indicates, 100 support memories is needed to be collected before you can use the support memory for the first time. It's a little weird, I know. It's kind of dumb, I guess, but that's just how it is. This is just an explainer. The next thing, you might be wondering again what these film reels are all about. They are your pool. In order to activate the support memory, a film of the corresponding color is required. When activated, the corresponding film will be consumed. So in this case, because this oolong does whatever, it requires 70 film reels. So you go in here and you take your 70. You don't actually do that. In the heat of battle, it'll automatically just take 70 from your pool, so you will have 70 less of the red film reels, which basically means each time you use a support memory, it does cost a little bit. And some people might argue that this is annoying, this is a hindrance, but that's exactly the point. This is not supposed to be a regular item that you use all the time like you use your other items. This is a support memory, so it's a different level, it's a different value, and it's not supposed to be something that is a constant factor in all of your events, because otherwise it can somewhat skew the game to more of an unbalanced type of landscape. So they're trying to give it somewhat of a reasonable cost, and I'm actually okay with that. So let's continue. The type and number of films required depend on the support memory. The film can only be consumed once per challenge. If you bring the support memory without enough film, it will not be activated. There are 5 types of film in all. So you've got red, yellow, orange, blue, and green. With me so far? Good. The film can be exchanged for trade points at Baba's Treasures. So this is currently not available in Global Dokkan. We are not able to see anything or do anything except for collecting these film reels. And you do this on any event that you can boost up your link levels. So quest modes, events, you can even do this on the B-Pan stages. I did a bit of an experiment and I ran an event on each and every scenario that I could think of. I did one on a story event with 15 stamina cost, which is this one. I also did another run on the 23-8 link leveling stage. I also did the B-Pan EZA, the stage that costs you 130 stamina, as well as a Dokkan event, and then I had to enlist the help of my buddy Steven Z Killer to get me the numbers for the regular B-Pan event, the 100 stamina one and the 80. And you can get your film reels from all of them, because on every single one of those events, you do have the opportunity to boost your link levels. But what's interesting is that each level gives you a different number of film reels, and is all dependent on the stamina. So I initially noticed that when I did an event that cost 15 stamina, in return, I was given 7 film reels of a particular type. When I did the quest mode 23-8, which costs 23 stamina, I in return received 11 copies of a particular film reel. So this continued with the other conditions. So for the Dokkan event, which costs 25 stamina on Super 2 difficulty, instead of getting 11 film reels, I got 12. Then I figured, okay, so if we're getting roughly 50% based on the stamina, then that must mean that on the B-Pan EZA event, I'm probably going to be getting 65 copies. Unfortunately, that is not true. So when I went in, I spent 130 stamina. In return, I definitely did not get 65. I got far less. I got a fifth of the stamina spent. So I think for the B-Pan EZA and for the events that typically cost more than 25, I think the value changes. I think the amount that you get in return either changes to 20% of the stamina spent, or it's a case-by-case basis. I haven't exhausted all the possibilities, but based on the trial runs that I did and the screenshots that I got from my own account and Steven Z's, it's pretty clear that 50% applies to any event that's not B-Pan related, and the B-Pan events you get 20% back. So whatever stamina you spend, you get 20% back upon completing that event in the form of those film reels. Now back to the Dokkan Wiki. The maximum amount of each film that can be stored in the inventory is 200. If you exceed the upper limit, it will be discarded even if you get it with a clear reward. So actively use the support memory to consume film. This is, I think, the number one complaint that a lot of JP players have. It's the fact that you cap at 200. And as you saw in the example, if one oolong costs 70, then that means after two consecutive runs of any event, you use the oolong, you don't have enough to use it a third time, which means you then have to go back into your whatever story event or Dokkan event or quest mode or whatnot to then farm out those reels. It is a bit tedious. I wish they gave us more capacity, but again, like I mentioned before, this is not supposed to be a constant thing. I think they designed this in this way to force you to not always have to rely on it, because if you do, it then can become a problem when you're trying to do an event that doesn't require it because you're so accustomed to it. Now, the 200 requirement is obviously a bummer, but the other thing to also note is if you don't want to farm it out and do it through a story event run or a quest mode, you can buy them at the Baba Shop. And at the Baba Shop, as you can see, for every 10 film reels, it costs you 3,000 Baba points. So this is where the whales really get to thrive. If you're a whale in Dokkan, you can replenish your supply instantly without skipping a beat because it will cost you nothing. It costs you 3,000 Baba points for 10 reels, so to fill out one single type from 0 to 200, it would cost you 60,000 Baba points, aka 6 summonable SSRs. So if you're a whale, you're going to be fine. If you're not a whale, you might want to consider doing some runs of various events like the quest mode or the Dokkan events like I mentioned, just to get some of that done the normal way. It basically just encourages you to play the game more, because if you're somebody like me who likes to farm out some of those free-to-play currency events where you can get Kais and whatnot, you're going to be getting a lot in return. I can tell you that in the process of trying to get the amount of pacifiers I needed for this portion, you'll see that I actually have quite a few of those support reels. So let me see. Do we go to other to check? No. Support memory film right here. So in my, I think my entire stamina bar, and then maybe like 50 more, this is how much I've been able to accumulate just by doing 2 quest modes, and then the rest was the 15 stamina story event. I've almost maxed out every single one of my reels. So it's very easy and pretty fast to get it done, especially if you play the game a lot. But if you don't want to do that, you want to just pay for it, you can obviously go for that in the Baba Shop. So that is pretty much it as far as the basics as to how to unlock these support memories. And then obviously it's all about using them. So we've got a bunch of different ones. I'm not going to go over all of them, but the oolong one, as used in the example, chance of obtaining bonus rewards plus 50% in the events with the special effect bonus reward drop rate increased. So basically, if you're trying to do a story event of any kind, like let's say for example, let's say Miracle of Universe 7, the increased drop rate is boosted with Representatives of Universe 7. So you use that support memory on a run on this event. So if you're trying to maybe boost up how many support memories you have of Gohan and Piccolo, you can use the oolong. And then you've got some other ones like the Frieza Extreme Class Allies attack plus 15% for one turn when there's a super class enemy. it's, you know, another way that you can look at this is you're basically being given an extra passive ability. So like, consider that on a normal fight, because you've got 3 allies, consider a Phantom 4th unit swoops in and gives you their passive effect. That's kind of how you can look at this. For Videl, Majin Buu Saga category allies, key +2 for 2 turns from the start of battle. Superclass allies attack plus 15% for 1 turn when there's an extreme class enemy. So there's a whole bunch of different ones. I encourage you guys to check out the Dokkan Wiki and take a look at all of these to see what they do. Or if you want to just wait, we will be getting a few during the 6-year anniversary, but there will be plenty more to come in future campaigns and celebrations. So fear not, folks. There will not be any sort of like massive overload of information that you're just going to have to take all at once. Don't worry, check out your favorite channels, look at their videos. They will help you kind of compartmentalize all this new information. But like I said, not all of this stuff is going to be dropping at once for global players, so we can ease into it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comments your thoughts on support memories as a whole. Do you feel like it's a welcomed addition? Nothing too fancy, nothing that breaks the balance of the game, and it's just enough to add more intrigue into the game? Or do you feel like this is completely unnecessary or completely useless? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.